him up from his low estate. You see, because you have your the Most High created the poor and the rich. Now, are all rich men evil? No, because you got men. When you read in the scriptures, men that were of renown, that had a reputation, that had money, but they served Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and they contributed to helping the men of the Lord, man, and lifted up his head from misery, so that many that saw it marveled at him. You see, the Most High will work, man. But first, you have to seek ye the kingdom of heaven. You have to be spiritually strong, and not still you can't be playing with the world. Still, you can't be staying in the world too long, man. You go in, you get out. Okay, look how the short period of time that Yahweh Shai was in, and the Most High had to take him out quickly, man. It tells you that in the book of Wisdom of Solomon. He had to take him out quickly. At least through the naughtiness or the wickedness of the earth would convert his mind over, man. Basically, he was 33 years old, right? 33 years old when he went out to go minister, man. And within a period of 3 years, they already took him out. Yahweh Shai took him, or Yahweh took him. Says Sirach 11 and 14, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty, riches come of the Lord, as I read in the book of Proverbs. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord. Love and the way of good works are from him. You see, error and darkness had their beginning together with sinners, and evil shall wax old with them that glory therein. That's right, because all this stuff is going to wax old and it's going to vanish away. All right, which I'm going to bring it out in 1 John. You know, all these things are going to fade away. It's going to go away. The only thing that's going to triumph forever is the word, man. Is the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh. That's the only thing that's going to triumph forever. And it's proven it through the time. Says, the gift of the Lord remaineth with the godly, and his favor bringeth prosperity forever. Because this word right now, this word right here, is your riches, man. Is your gain. Is your profit. Is your 401k. Is your retirement. Is your safety. Is your medicine. Is your medication. Is your counseling. All right? It's everything that Esau tries to offer you. But what Esau offers you is not sure, man. It can be stolen. It can be taken away. He could fire you. A hacker could go into your bank account and take all your money. Or the government can have a economic collapse. Right? Inflation can finally bust open and that's it, man. Then what? You got fraud that goes on here. That's why the Lord says, store you treasures in heaven, which I'm going to bring out too. Where nobody could take nothing away from you, man. Spiritually. Alright. It says, and the gift of the Lord remained with the godly, man. What is the gift? Having the Holy Spirit, the spirit of understanding. A quickening spirit, man. There is that waxeth rich by his wariness. Damn, mosquito, man. And pinching, and this is the portion of his reward. Salaki, give me 1 second, brothers. All right, there's one that waxeth rich, man. All right. But through wariness and pinching, man. So this man his spirit is all about trying to get rich, man. Whereas he saith, I have found rest, and now will eat continually of my goods, and yet he knoweth not what time shall come upon him. and that he must leave those things to others and die. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was bringing out about how the Most High or Esau will take away your 401k, man, or fire you, and then what? You're left to rot away and die, man. All right. It's just like, I forgot what movie that it was, but where I think somebody, it was Jake in the movie, it was trying to be a drug dealer, and somebody hit him up saying a drug dealer doesn't exist, man. You know, a drug dealer doesn't exist. He's basically dead. He's empty. Why? Because he's all about himself. He's killing his own people, serving them poison. You know, the drugs. He don't exist. An old drug dealer, man. Because at the end, he didn't make it. Now he's sitting, he's walking the streets of his city, probably a drug addict himself. His own device that he used for himself to try to gain turned on him and now destroying him, man. An old drug dealer doesn't exist. And that's how Esau would do you. When you set your mind upon the world, you set your mind upon these jobs or whatever it is that you do in this world, this life, that because your soul is being empty, man. You're not filling it with the oil, with the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Which is going to keep you going, keeping you thriving, young, but strong. Man, there's so many scriptures that are going through my head that while I'm speaking, you know, people think this is a game, man. This is not a game, man. This is real life. The scriptures back up everything that those brothers speak about, man. You know, everything that we speak about is the truth. The scriptures say there's no guile in their mouth. Be steadfast. Now it's going into what you need to be steadfast in, as I made the comment earlier, being steadfast in this truth. Be steadfast in thy covenant. What is the covenant? The vow that you made with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. That deal. Okay? That calling. Which is to make your calling, your election sure, man. Which is coming out to the highways and the byways. You're prophesying to your people. You're teaching your people. You're presenting your body a living sacrifice. You're rehearsing the righteous acts in and out of camera. You're standing at the defense of the gospel. Be steadfast in thy covenant and be conversant therein. You see? You have to be conversant in there. As I read there in the book of Sirach 2. Was it Sirach 38 or 39? As it said, let me read. It says, and be conversant in dark parables. The only way you could be that way is being occupied therein, man. All right. It says, and wax old in thy work. Waxing old in what work? Not the work of Esau, and this work. Because this work is what's going to guarantee you everlasting life, man. Let's just speak hypothetically speaking. Say if I'm here, right? I started in my mid-20s, right? And if I go up to around 50 years old, so be it. That's just the way it has to be. But guess what? That reward, I'm storing up that reward, man. Lord willing, I'm part of the elect. Lord willing, the Lord is looking down on me with being pleased that I'm fighting, that I'm coming out to the highways and the byways, that I care about what it is that He established, that what He has granted me. That I'm trying to flip that I'm trying to win brothers, that I'm trying to teach brothers, man, to stay righteous, be strong, man. To say fuck this world. Yeah, like I said, how to balance it out with that scripture. You have to be balanced. You know? You have to work in Babylon. You have to get a job, man. You have to pay your bills. You have to get your license. You can't be driving around dirty in a car, man, because you're going to get yourself in a worse bind, man. And it's going to make it harder for you to come out to the highways and the byways, because now you got to go to court. You know what I'm saying? You have to work in Babylon. You have to get a job, man. So that's the balance. But you know where your heart has to be. It says, and wax old in thy work. Talking about this truth, man. Wax old in this work, man. Marvel not at the works of sinners. Right? Don't worry about these goddamn people out here in the world, man. Living it up. Buying houses. Cars. You know, you can just see that they're well off, man. They ain't struggling. They ain't worrying about nothing, man. Their woman's making money. He's making money. Us, Jake, we have to carry our families. We have to carry our women. We have to help all these different types of people, man. Anytime you see a Jake come up in the industry, in the music or movies, whatever, you got their families are looking up to them, man, or looking to them for help. They're having to take care of their mom, their dads, you know, friends. Certain men are not like that, man. They're not plagued like that. And the scriptures in the book of Psalms speak about that, man. They're not cursed like they're not cursed or plagued like other men. It says, marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on a sudden to make a poor man rich. You see? So that's the balance, man. Because he can make you rich. He can give you things that these people have. But guess what? You have best of both worlds. As far as that you're financially stable, you're able to take care of your things and on this side, but then you're good on his end, man. Look at King Solomon. You think King Solomon was the richest man? Israel ruled, man, 40 years. But he had wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. He had 1,000 wives. Right? What was it? 700 wives and 300 concubines? You know, 1,000 wives, man. And he had that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, the Spirit of the Lord was with him. You know? So don't get it twisted, man. It says, the blessing of the Lord is in the reward of the godly. And suddenly he maketh his blessing to flourish. That's right. He will make you flourish, man. In the sight of your enemy. Where your enemies are going to be in awe, in amazement, as I read. You know? He ain't going to bring you up like fucking running a big-ass corporation like that. Not saying he can't do that, but you're gonna be well off. You know? You're gonna have to work though. You know what I'm saying? That's the balance though. You have to do the work for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You have to work in Esau's kingdom. But being single-minded, having your mind focused on the truth, not being physically attached to this world, being physically detached while you're spiritually attached to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Says, say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good thing shall I have hereafter? Right? Don't worry about none of that, man. Peter already asked Yahushua, what is it that we're gonna gain for forsaking all? And he said, you're gonna rule. You're gonna sit on the 12 thrones of Israel and judge the 12 tribes of Israel, man. The Lord already told us what we're gonna receive. We're gonna receive we're gonna inherit the earth. We're gonna rule next, not the so-called white man, man. Not the Asian, not the Arab, Israel, the so-called Negro Latinos and Native American Indians. We're gonna rule next. And it's through prophecy. We believe in this. You have to believe in that, man. One day that change is gonna come, man. Be none of these fucking heathens, man. These dirty ass fucking Hamites. And I know our brothers are trying to say that there's a lot of Israelites in Nigeria, and I'm not saying that there's not, but a lot of them not fucking Israel, man. All right, it's like brothers can't be simple. You got love in every nation. Every nation loves their own people. You know, you gotta look deeper than that, man. You look at Hamites, and they be loud. They're fucking laughing with each other. They're eating. They're loving on each other, shit like that. But that don't make them Israel. That don't make them Israelites. Esau does that shit. All the other nations do that shit. Can't be simple on that, man. It says, again, say not, I have enough, and possess many things. And what evil can come to me hereafter? You see? And that's how these people out here are. They think the Lord ain't going to come back and judge them. Right? They don't think that America is going to cease to exist. The Golden City, Babylon. A.K.a. spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt, man. They don't believe in that. But we do. And we have to believe in that to remain in the fear of the Lord in order to be what I've been reading right here, man. Conversing, being occupied, preoccupied, meditating therein in the prophecies thereof, man. To meditate on something means you believe in it. Your heart is there. It says, in the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And that's very true. Because when you prosper, you start forgetting the time of affliction, man. But you want it to be a balance. That's why you have to ask the Lord. And there's a prayer in the book of Proverbs 30 where I forget what his name is. He asked the Lord to not let him be to not be too hungry or too rich or not needing the Lord, but to be balanced, man. Roughly paraphrasing the book of Proverbs chapter 30, man. Matter of fact, let me just verify. Proverbs 30 or 31. Yeah, 30. It says, Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Two things have I required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Right? Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me. You see? For lest I be full and deny thee and say, who is the Lord? Or lest I be poor and steal and take the name of the Most High in vain. You see? That lines up perfectly with what I'm reading, man. No? Going back, it says, in the day of prosperity there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in the day of affliction there is no more remembrance of prosperity. For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways, man. Alright, because like I said, we're all going to be judged. Okay? The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. Okay? Because the Lord, and that's the scary thing about it, man, because the Lord can bring you up, allow you to come up and forget the Lord. Or the Lord can have you up and bring you down to remember him. Or it can work the other way around, you know, balanced. As I made comment. Like I said, there's a balance in this thing. But the gift that we're supposed to be looking for and seeking after is his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. This is Matthew 6:19. Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And that's very true. That's what you're going to be conversant and meditated therein, man. Where your heart is upon, what your heart is upon. know? It says, the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. And that's what you're wanting, man. That light represents this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding here contained in this book. And your eye is talking about your soul, your being, man. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon, man. Riches. Okay? This is in the book of 1 John. 1 John 2:15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You see? So if you care for this world, the love of the Father is not in you. What is the love of the Father? Law, statutes, and commandments. Being obedient, conversant, and being preoccupied in the meditation of prophecies thereof, man. Okay? Because you got to choose one or the other. Which one is stronger? Which one are you exercising the most? Okay? That's the balance. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world, man. It's of Satan. It's that verse. Because we know when you come into this world, it's a battle. It's the beginning of it. You're fighting for your life, man. Your spirit, your life, your soul. The flesh withers away. You know? That's why the Lord said, you know, it's better to lose certain limbs than it is your spirit, your soul, man. To have your soul destroyed. If you still have the capacity to remember, to analyze, to think, to speak, to hear, to listen, you know, that's what the Most High wants. He wants this. He don't care about what you look like, how many fingers you got. That's what the world looks at. That's what the world deems as being perfect and beautiful and stuff like that. Not saying it's not, but the Lord is looking at the inner man, man. That you're whole in the mind. You're whole. You're made whole, healthy. Your spirit's right. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. See? From generation to generation. As I read in Sirach 39, man. The man that had the 10 talents, he was given 10 cities to reign over. The man that was given the 5 pounds, was given 5 cities to rule over, man. Meaning that your children's children are gonna receive what you've been given, man. Forever and ever, from generation to generation. Everlasting life. The everlasting life, that's what it means. That's what it's talking about. Ruling forever. All this stuff is gonna pass away, man. I'm gonna finish up Matthew 24 and 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the Son of Man be. You see? So all these things are going to be swept away, man. So to be physically attached means to be spiritually detached. But to be spiritually attached means to be physically detached. And keeping your mind focused on this word, man, this gospel. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. Alright? Your main squeeze, your main woman. Alright? So I hope it was edifying to you brothers out there. Y'all brothers stay strong, keep pushing. May Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai be with you and to increase you. Alright? Because we're coming into closer to the end, man. The Lord and things are pressing harder. Okay, a lot of brothers. There's a lot of changes that are going on within GMS. All right, and meaning that there's a lot of things going on within GMS. The brothers have to stay strong, man. All right, and be true, be humble. All right, be rooted and grounded in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, staying solid, man. I did a video on the word solid, yet broke it down, man. That's what we have to be. Okay? So with that, I hope it was edifying to you, brothers. So next time I want to say, Shalom.